Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Disney Ducktales issue number 2. Now, as you know, Ducktales has now got a reboot. I have been watching the reboot, and they now have their own comic book series, which the few issues are either prequels, and other issues are kind of filler. So the cover, you have Donald with Della and also Scrooge searching for valuable treasure. And it starts off how Scrooge is like, Della, I've been about everything in this life. Gone, proscaping, been treasure hunting, built bridges, even farming there's chickens. Well, now Scrooge McDuck has a chicken made of gold with a golden case of besides. And even Donald starts complaining, saying that it's their fault that he's so tiny now. And we're introduced where Scrooge McDuck says, I've read everything about the city and how it was magnificent capital, which the mighty Monty Lumbridge ruled. I wasn't prepared for how wonderful the temple structure is. So they start searching in, and Della's like, these people were so strange to go but a chicken. Stop calling me that. So suddenly the light happens, and it starts to come to life, but gets bigger. And it starts attacking Donald, and Scrooge realizes that this wasn't the chief's prized possession, it was his nightmare. And Donald ends up making it bigger due to basing it on fear. So Della and Scrooge look around saying, the situation is growing seriously. When does it ever grow that? So they mainly solve up the puzzles, and Donald starts to still get attacked by the chicken. They solve the puzzle saying, you're good at this. Now what's happening? Just cocoa beans. God, how can we do that help? So Della mainly force feeds Donald with it, and Donald starts to shrink, and this causes the chicken to eat it by growing smaller and smaller. Della eventually captures the golden chicken, which turns back into a golden statue. And where they head back home, and suddenly the train stops, where Della accidentally sprays hot cocoa on Donald. And you see this tome saying, do you see that? Somebody left here with our golden chicken. It's been stolen. We made that chicken to mess with the conniers. Who knew it would backfire? I thought that thing would never leave. Well, she's gone now, and there'll be peace and quiet and comfort around here from now on. So we're introduced to a part in Scandinavia also, where Donald is complaining that he's been frozen and stuff, and we're introduced to where at the desert, Della, Scrooge, and Donald are looking around the desert. And Scrooge points out that sheep have been mysteriously appearing in people's fridges, the supermarket, ice fans, and you see these people seeing the people there, and they're like, what kind of circus ship makes the passengers paddle? Forward, men, stroke, stroke, stroke. I'll get a stroke if I have to paddle any more sand. And Scrooge made complaints to Donald saying, didn't I warn you about using up all your water? You don't know how long we'll be here. And so Della mainly heads forward to a waterfall, and they see a Viking village, and they go for the attack. And Della mainly fights them off, where one of the residents says, who has done with this to my Vikings? I am here Ghost Harper, direct descendant of the great Heroes Gonsnap, and they shall be avenged. And mainly she gets defeated, and Hilda's trust is now in Della's. So they talk about how the sheep's magic that keeps them cool and stuff is slowly dwindling, and that a certain location is no longer there anymore. So Scrooge decides to use mini refrigerators. So I'm guessing Launchpad was probably still a pilot back then, or either this was Ducksworth piloting the ship. I have no idea. So they open the fridges, and inside the sheep go. Did I quickly the ship into it? And Della starts doing a head count until they realise one sheep's missing, and they're like, the vortex won't charge without 100. I need another sheep, or something close to it. You! I'm actually surprised that Scrooge is willing to risk his nephew, but yeah, sacrifices have to be made. And afterwards, the sheep are now keeping everyone cool, and Hilda gives Scrooge a sheep as a thank you, and we see Donald now frozen in a block of ice, and when they finally make it to Iceland, and Scrooge is left wondering what happened to the other sheep. And it turns out the sheep is resting near a poolside area in Hollywood, saying, when you spend all day in a wool sweater, life is too short to spend it in the desert. So, yeah, this was basically the story. So, what do I think of issue 2? It's actually interesting to see these prequel adventures, and Webby saying that Donald Duck was the greatest adventure of all time may have just been what he believed. In this comic, in the first few issues, it did show that Donald got himself into situations and made things a bit difficult for himself. So I give the comic a good thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, comic reviewer here, signing out.